So I had a question about the best pregnancy exercises and stuff to do to help keep you on top of things while you are pregnant, and it's pretty good in. It's a pretty good thing to delve into today, seeing as most people I deal with are busy mums and also busy dads too. So if you are a first-time mum, or even if it's been a couple of years and you want to just refresh up about things you should do and should stay away from when you are pregnant, then I'll give you a bit of a checklist today. Obviously, it's not the definitive Bible. Speak to your obstetrician and your specialist about, your doctor about the best thing that's right for you, because they obviously know your history better than I do. But the main thing for you to remember is every person, every woman is going to be different during her pregnancy. There's no set rule. This is what you will feel like. Now, obviously, I've never been pregnant, but my wife has twice, and I've trained dozens, if not dozens and dozens, if not God knows how many, over the years of women who have been pregnant and continue to safely exercise. So the main thing for you is to listen to your body, because like I said, everyone is going to be different. Now, there's a couple of things across the board, no matter who you are, that I would definitely not do. Overhead exercise, would definitely not do. Put too much pressure on your body. Laying on your back. Now, depending, the old school of thought was after the first trimester, you definitely don't want to be doing exercise laying on your back. I always just tend to err on the side of caution now. As soon as people did tell me they were pregnant, I would normally subtly suggest an alternative that would steer them away from those type of exercises. Because the reason being, especially as your baby grows, the umbilical cord can get wrapped around them, and that's obviously not ideal. You definitely don't want that. So try and avoid laying on your body. But the main thing is, like I said, listen to your body. Be smart. Now, everyone's going to be different. You're going to be able to do more than the next person, or maybe even less than the next person. Like, for example, I've had people train safely. I remember years ago, I had one client who was boxing 2 days before her daughter was born. But then it was right for her. It was something she'd done long term. Her body was used to it. She wasn't doing it too intensely. It was safe for her. She felt good, and she actually felt better when she did box. I've had clients, on the other hand, who have had to stop relatively early on in their pregnancy because it hasn't been right for them and their body, and they've been recommended to steer down from the lower intensity stuff we were doing to just sticking with stuff like walking and swimming and stuff like that. So you need to find what's right for you. But like I said, general rule of thumb, don't lay down on your back. Don't do overhead stuff. You need to be careful as you progress during your pregnancy. Your body's going to release a lot of hormones called relaxin to get yourself ready for the childbirth. So you really need to be careful, because that relaxin is obviously designed for your pelvis to widen to allow the baby to come through the birth canal. Now, the flip side of that is that's going to place your joints under more risk. So the tendons and ligaments, everything in your body loosens up. It's not just around the pelvis area, it's everywhere in your body. It's under more stress. So there will be a high tendency for injury. So you need to be mindful of that. So the one thing I would stay away from, stuff like wide stance squats. You can do a normal squat, and obviously you want to get those legs in squat positions. Like a wall sit's a really good thing that's recommended for pregnant women because of the position it puts you in. It does help with childbirth. The other things that I would recommend, the one thing I could see from experience, from especially as a mum, you are going to spend a lot of your time in a hunched over position, either feeding your baby or holding your baby or looking down at your baby. So you need to make sure the posture muscles, the back of your neck muscles, your back of your shoulders, your upper back, we're on top of that. So things like reverse helicopters, these little things where you're doing small little rotations, just pull your arms back as far as you can. Those things are going to be gold for you. And they're going to help counterbalance, especially when you are breastfeeding and everything is all hunched forward. Definitely, obviously, pelvic floor exercises. Your obstetrician will speak with you about those and keep on top of that. But keep active. Do what's best for you. Walk, swim, do exercise. Heart rate wise, the general rule of thumb is you don't want to go about 75% of your maximum heart rate. So you don't have to wear a heart rate monitor. But basically, if you can still hold a conversation without being out of breath, that's the right intensity for you, for the average person. But yeah, like I said, work at your pace and see how things go. And hopefully you get a nice... the one thing I would, before I do sign off, one thing I would definitely try is for you to do something as often as you can. It's going to lead to a healthier birth. Every study will show a healthier birth, a potential for a faster recovery as well post-birth, the fitter and healthier that you are. But it's also too for your sanity. It's a stressful time, and you're going to need an outlet for yours. So whether it's you find something that works for you, whether it's a resistance training, you can still do weights. Obviously, you're not going to be lifting personal best, but you can still do resistance training. You can still ride a bike. You can still swim. You can still walk. Do whatever you work. Just do something that's going to work for you, and that's going to be a good stretch for you. And all the best. Cheers.